maybe it's hard for you to build confidence. That is something that I personally struggled with in my life. But I guarantee you, if you find... Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy D, and we are back at it again with another video. This video is part 2 of the most dangerous enemy is the one in the mirror. Part 1, we talked a lot about self-betrayal and what does that mean, why you are your own worst enemy. And if you haven't watched that, I highly recommend watching it before watching this one. In fact, this one wouldn't even make sense if you didn't watch the other one. So I'll give y'all a second to go back, and then I'll see y'all back here. So I'm assuming you guys are back, and if you guys can't tell, we are in a new space. I'm actually chilling in a different car. It's posted up in the driveway with the dog somewhere in the back, letting her play outside since it's getting a little bit nicer. And something that's going to be different about this episode is I'm trying to work on the way I speak more fluently and coherently. So I won't be making edits. This is going to be one long clip. So if you catch me looking down on my phone, that's Spotify. But this is just the notes that I have ready for the video. So without further ado, part 2. The most dangerous enemy is the one in the mirror. After we get past the self-betrayal, and after you stop betraying yourself, there's a whole new game that we can start to play. And the opposite of self-betrayal is what? I personally call it self-reliance. Instead of consistently being your own enemy and hurting yourself, now you are someone that you can depend on, someone that you can rely on, someone that you can trust. And we'll definitely get more into that. So let's start off with the definition, the Google definition of self-reliance. Self-reliance is reliance on one's own powers and resources rather than those of others. That means that you do not have to depend on anyone else to get shit done, because you know that you are the type of person that will get it done if you say you will. Whether or not you're new to something or you have 10 years of experience or more. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you say it and you want it to be done, you know you're the type of person that will get it done no matter what. And through that, true confidence is formed. In fact, I want you guys to say exactly what I said out loud, personally. I am self-reliant. I am the type of person that gets things done. When I say I'll do something, I'll do it. I don't know about you guys, but when I say words like that, I feel this warm feeling in my chest that makes me feel good about myself, that makes me feel proud about myself. Because there's not a lot of people in this world that can say that. And if you are the type of person that can say that wholeheartedly, candidly, and truly, then all the power to you. You have all the powers in your hands to morph your destiny into whatever you want it to be. And that's why this is so important. So let's continue on this talk about true confidence. There's 2 different types of confidence. There's the, I would say, conditional confidence, and then there's the true confidence that I was talking about, the foundational confidence, the inner confidence. In terms of conditional, it is you are confident sometimes, but not all the times. For example, let's say I am confident in my driving ability. It's because I drive all the time, and I know I'm confident in it. And something that I've never done before was skiing. A regular person would say they are confident in their driving ability, but they're not confident in skiing at all. And then they will feel nervous when they have the skis on. They will be tight, they won't flow mentally and physically. And it just wouldn't work out well because you brought it into existence by imagining it wouldn't work out well. When you have a true inner confidence, it does not matter what you do. I might not have ever skied a day in my life, but I guarantee if I was to put on skis right now and hit the slopes, I would kill it. Maybe not in the same way as a pro would do it who has been skiing their entire life, but I am confident that I am the type of person that can learn on the fly. I am self-reliant. Maybe there's a teacher that will teach me the skills to learn, and that's how you learn faster. But ultimately, it is up to you to actually put it into reality. And what is interesting about putting these ideas and thoughts into reality is this idea of words and what God has done. Me personally, I am Catholic, so I'm going to make this connection. If you are not religious, don't worry. You don't have to believe in God to understand what I'm trying to say. And I hope that you don't feel upset or anything like that, because this is what makes sense in my head. This is what I'm going to say. Come here, girl. Go say hi. Yeah. Guys, say hello. Candy, say hello. Good girl. That's my dog, Candy. Half Shiba, half Corgi mix. She is amazing. Okay, so where we were talking about the connection with God. If you don't know, the way God created this universe is he spoke it into existence. It was the word that created our universe. And we can't do that personally because we're just human beings. We can't say something and it'll instantly be. But because we are made in God's likeness, we have something similar to that. And that is, instead of saying something and it being, you think it. You see it inside your head before it's actually there. And then we have the power with time. It won't happen instantly. You have to have a plan that takes time. But we have the power to create our thoughts into reality. So, as we are in the likeness of God, God uses word and then it is. But for us, our powers and the ultimate human ability, in my opinion, is that we could think something before it's even there. It doesn't even exist yet. But if we make a concrete plan and we coherently think it out, we could create it into the reality, into this reality. So let's say I want to have 9 figures, which I will. I'm going to be playing with 9 figures. Right now, I grew up poor. I didn't have much. I have more now because I've worked for it, but I didn't have much growing up. I could have had the mindset of just being complacent and saying, okay, I didn't have it to begin with, so I'm not the type of person that could get it. But that's just such a weak way to live, I think. Instead of you creating the life that you want to live, you'll let life do whatever it wants to you. And that is the opposite of self-reliance. Instead of relying on yourself to create your reality, you are relying on life to do everything for you. And for the people who have done that, how has your life turned out? That is a question only you could truthfully answer. So let's continue. So now that we had a lot of talk about creating a reality that we want through being self-reliant and having a concrete plan by not betraying ourselves anymore, people are going to ask, or you guys might be wondering, okay, I get it, but how do I do it? What are the actionable steps that I can take? And if you're like me, that's all I think about. Like, yeah, you could hear all this goo goo gaga. You could read all these books. You could watch all these podcasts, listen to all these podcasts, watch all these videos. But if there are no concrete plans that you're doing to take action every single day, nothing will change. So, this is my way. It was taught to me via book. I think it was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think. I might be wrong. But to be able to feel this self-reliance and this confidence that I'm talking about, you have to trust yourself. Because you don't trust yourself, you can't rely on yourself. Why would you ever rely on someone that you can't trust to get the job done? So the first step is to learn how to trust yourself. How do you trust yourself? By keeping promises with yourself. When you say something, you do it. and over again, through days, through weeks, through months, through years, it will compound into this inner confidence, this unshakable will that no one could ever possibly have influence on. And you will become the type of person that will create your own reality. So you could be saying like, okay, what are these promises then? Are these big promises? For me, my ultimate financial goal is to be playing within the 9-figure range. So I'm not in the 9-figure range. Am I messing up? Am I being a loser? Am I not being reliant on myself? No. When you have big wins, there is an unlimited amount of small wins to get to that big win. So start with the small wins. So like I was saying with the 7 habits of highly effective people, a trick that I got from that is at the end of the day, you have to reflect on your day. Like from when you woke up, when you regained consciousness from sleeping to where you are now, you need to find 3 wins for the day, every single day, and write it down. So for example, let's just say I went to the gym when I said it was. Is that a win? Hell yeah, it's a win. Getting out of bed when you're feeling lazy and you're feeling unmotivated, and you can get out of bed anyways faster than you normally do, that's a win. Did you eat more? Did you eat properly when you said that you wanted to eat properly and work on your diet? Good, that's another win. All of these wins add up, they compound every single day. So for today, you had those 3 wins. Tomorrow, let's just say you do the same wins. Now you have 6 wins. 6. So instead of focusing on that one big win of that one big goal, now you have 6 small goals that you know that you kept the promise with yourself. And now you're starting to see that I do have the power to control my life. I do have the power to control my destiny. Why? Because I'm the type of person that gets things done when I say I'm going to get it done. So for me personally, after I started getting these wins and I started writing it down, and the best part is when you write it down, you could reflect on it. You could look back on your wins for each day. You're able to see like, yes, I am that person. Maybe it's hard for you to build confidence. That is something that I personally struggled with in my life. But I guarantee you, if you find 3 wins every single day over a long enough time frame, there is no way your life does not get better. Because where people get stuck and where people don't trust themselves any longer is that they go into this downward spiral of feeling miserable about themselves. And I'm realizing that I wanted to point out these small wins, these very small, subtle wins, is because when I was looking back when I first started, I was like, wow, I didn't have any wins today. You need to find the wins. It doesn't matter what it is. There are 3 things that you have done. It could be even smaller than going to the gym, right? It could be, okay, I woke up. Normally I hop on my phone, but today I didn't. And I still slept in, but I didn't go on my phone when I first woke up in the morning. That is a win. It doesn't matter how small it is. If you keep on winning, keep on building these small wins, this is that foundation. This is the inner foundation that you need to have the true confidence to be self-reliant. And I hope this is all making sense because it's an upward spiral at this point. We started off part 1 where you still betray yourself. You break promises with yourself. You don't keep your word. And now you're spiraling up, okay? You keep some of your words. You might break some promises, but at least you're keeping 3 wins a day, right? And even if you're counting only 3 wins a day, it doesn't mean there's only 3 wins in that day. You could have 100 wins that day, right? So instead of just having 3 a day, now you know you had 100 wins and 100 wins tomorrow. And now on the 7th day, you're at 700 wins. 700 reasons why you could be self-reliant on yourself. And that is only a week. Imagine a month. Imagine a year. Do the math. This is how you build that inner confidence in yourself. Instead of fantasizing and daydreaming about a reality that you want, this is what you do to get those results. It all starts in here before you can bring it out into reality. So, I really wanted to talk about, for our last topic, 3 specific fields where you could find these wins. It's where I found my wins. I would say, most significant wins, because obviously they're all small wins, but some small wins are smaller than some other small wins. And my theory is, if you focus on these 3 factors, at least one of these 3 factors, there is a 0% chance your life does not get better. And these are health, wealth, relationship. If that sounds familiar, I totally jacked it from Alex Hormozy. And when he says to start a business, you need to focus on health, wealth, and relationship. That's all money getting businesses. Why? It's because people want the change. People are willing to pay and spend money to get the results. So instead of focusing on paying someone to try to do it for you, you could focus on it yourself. What do I mean by that? Health. Health is in physical and mental health. But in my opinion, you can't have the healthiest mentality if you aren't healthy physically. That's not to say disabilities and stuff like that, like being born with no arms and legs. You could have no arms, no legs, and still have a mind that is so much more powerful than anyone else in this world, aka someone like Stephen Hawking. He had arms and legs, but he was like that. And everybody knows him. So, if you are depressed, if you feel shitty about yourself, if you are thinking there is no way that I could become the self-reliant person, what I did that I want you to do, get your ass in the gym. Doesn't have to be the gym. It could be, as in a weight room gym, it could be training. Like you could do a sport. You could hit the track. You're at your local track. You could do walking. You could do some jogging. You could do running if you want to. Whatever you need to do to get active. Get active is the key. Why? Healthy body, healthy mind. When your body is at 100% capacity, only then is your mind truly at 100% capacity. Because if you're unhealthy, if you're eating like Baba, if you don't exercise at all, how could your mind be strong? It's going to be foggy. It's going to be hazy because you're not at 100%. Your body isn't at 100%. So your brain can't be. And I'm not saying your brain is your consciousness, but there's definitely a correlation. Excuse me. Excuse me. For example, fighters. They fight all their lives and they end up with brain damage. And now you're drinking out of a straw and you can't talk. You're conscious, but not as conscious as you used to be because of the brain damage that you took. So, healthy brain via healthy body, by exercising and by eating right. And that will naturally start the winning cycle, and that will get you out of that downward spiral of depression and starting into the upward spiral of whatever you want it to be. So that's health. And now we're going to talk about wealth. Money. Money makes the world go round. Money is not the root of all evil. I don't believe that. I think it was the love of money that was the root of all evil from the Bible. You can't be obsessed with money. You can't let it control your life in terms of it being the only thing you care about, which is the trap that I personally fell into. But that is not to say that money is not important. Whoever says that money doesn't matter probably isn't living their best life. Why? Because money solves money problems. Money doesn't buy happiness, but money can buy things that can make you happy, happier. It is materialistic. True happiness comes from within. But would you rather be stuck in an airplane like a can of sardines, or be on a private jet? If you had the option, if money wasn't a thing and you had the option of this or that, you would obviously pick the private jet because it's more comfortable. You would get food, you would get space, you could walk around, you could do whatever you want if money wasn't the difference between the two. So if you would prefer the nicer stuff, the more comfortable stuff, but the only reason why you don't have that is because of money, then it doesn't mean that you don't want that. It means you don't have the money for it. which is the trap that a lot of people fall into. They say, I don't need money to be happy. But money solves money problems. Get your money up. If you're a man. If you want to be an independent woman, maybe, but I'm not a woman myself, so I wouldn't know. Just from my personal beliefs, I do believe that a man should be the provider in all aspects, physical, monetary, mental, emotional. The man has to provide. So if you're a woman, you got to figure that out yourself personally. You got to decide what you want, but this is just from what I see. And what is the most interesting of the three, in my opinion? Relationships. This is where I have struggled the most, easily, without a doubt. And this is beyond just lovers. This is family, this is friends, this is acquaintances, all human relationships in general. You have to work on them. We are humans. We are social creatures. We are social creatures because we needed each other to survive. That's why before language was a thing, there were still communities of humans who would show emotions via facial expressions, body language. So to survive in this world, we need each other. And as someone who has spent a great deal of time alone, I finally realized how important it is. Yes, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely, because for a long time I was lonely and alone. I'm no longer lonely, but I still am alone. And seeing the lives that I have seen other people build, a community that they have built, this is the interesting part. I don't feel jealous about it because their life has their own problems, and I understand that. But I am inspired by it. I see it and I'm like, wow, like I feel like that would be so beautiful if I had something like that. And a perfect example is when I went to go visit my brother at his apartment the other day. He lives with his girl now, my older brother. I was just taking it in because I've never been there. And honestly, I was imagining how it would be like for me to live with my woman. And honestly, that feeling in my chest, it felt so warm. I feel like I would love it. That's why this year, beyond the wealth and health that I'm already focusing on, relationship is the next big thing for me. Maybe you don't think you need anybody. And in my opinion, no one could tell you that you need somebody in terms of human social connection, not reliability. But see it for yourself. If you're surrounded by people and you still feel lonely, that's an inner problem. If you're not surrounded by anyone and you feel lonely, it's because you set yourself up for failure, like I did. And if you're alone but you're not lonely, that means you're at peace internally and you could live with the presence of yourself and you enjoy your own presence. But you understand that there's more to life. The example about no arms and no legs that I was talking about, and this is what I realized. If I had no arms and no legs, and let's just say I'm drinking out of a straw, so I can't even think to make money. And this is the reality for a lot of people in this world. What matters then? If you can't take care of your health, if you can't take care of your wealth, and if you're laying around like a snail because you were just, I wouldn't say unlucky, because I'm sure there's lessons to learn and everyone's human experience is different. But if you weren't blessed with that, do you think life is worthless at that point? No. Life is so beautiful. No life is worthless. No life is pointless. Every life is so unique. There's a perspective and lessons to gain from each individual person. So when I did this, I would say experiment, this mental experiment, I realized that what was important for me is the relationships in my life. If I couldn't focus on my health and I couldn't focus on my wealth, at least I would want to be surrounded by people that love me and that I can love with all my heart, that I could take care of in my way and that they could take care of me. Community. So on that note, guys, work on these three things: health, wealth, relationship. Be self-reliant. Learn how to trust yourself. Find the wins. Write down the wins. You are a winner. You are a doer. You make your reality. You control your fate. Never forget that. Thank you guys for watching this video. This is a one take. Let me know what you guys think. At first I was doing a lot of edits, but I didn't like the way it wasn't flowing. But here, when I'm talking on the go, it feels like I'm flowing with you guys now, like it's an actual conversation versus me just trying to edit and chop. Thank you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. What you want to hear next? Share it with your friends. And what else? If I can't make it clear enough, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for existing. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for spending your time with me. I hope one day we could set up community like events where we could all hang out and see each other in person. I'm really just trying to build a community here of like-minded people trying to grow together. I'm super excited for what this could bring. Let's keep on going. Let's keep elevating. Love you guys. Holla.